Hi ladies, welcome back to the feminine universe. As always, I am so happy to have you here. We know that some people still think femininity is only about pretty dresses and heels and makeup. And now while I love all those things, that physical manifestation of femininity is actually only one slice of the pie. It's true that some ladies don't bother with making themselves physically appealing, so they never get certain opportunities or even make it through the front door in certain situations. On the other hand, some women are drop dead gorgeous but have major personality issues they refuse to deal with, and so they're able to pull people in but unable to keep them around. And then there are the ladies who never learn how to read the room, read the fine print, or read people, and so they get played, whether that's financially, romantically, or professionally, because they couldn't read signs or recognize patterns of bad behavior. And this is why being balanced and well-rounded is so important. So today, we're going to get into what it actually takes to be the total package. The 6 attributes that make you the kind of high-value feminine woman that anyone would feel lucky to have by their side, on their team, or in their life in some way. I call these the 6 pillars of femininity. So let's get into the overview of these 6 areas we should all master in order to be the ultimate high-value feminine package. Let's get started. The first pillar you want to build is the appearance pillar. And when I say appearance, I'm talking about self-care, self-maintenance, the way you look, the way you dress, all the things that are visible to our eyes. So why are we starting here? 2 reasons. 1, because it's the first thing we all notice as humans, and 2, because believe it or not, it's one of the easiest pillars to immediately work on. Because the world has a preference for attractive people, looking good makes your life easier. I'm sure we've all heard of the halo effect and how people ascribe positive character traits to attractive people. But to be attractive, there are things that everyone can do, like keeping our hair clean and well styled, keeping our skin clear and smooth, or at least working on getting there, keeping our nails done, manicured in some way, getting and staying fit, wearing clothes that are fresh, well-fitting, flattering, and appropriate for the occasion. These are all things that contribute to having an amazing appearance that have nothing to do with your genetics or what facial features you were born with. It doesn't end here though. We need more, especially in this day and age when people can buy whatever face or body they want. Perfected beauty isn't nearly as rare or as unattainable as it used to be, and nice clothes are becoming easier to obtain at basically any price point. So while I will never pretend looks don't matter, I think we also must acknowledge there are stunning women whose personal lives are in shambles. So that's not the end all be all. You've absolutely got to have more than good looks or a curated aesthetic to be the total package. So let's get into pillar 2. This second pillar is all about building and developing your personality as well as your mentality and your mannerisms. So this pillar is all about the way you act, the way you think about things, the way you react to things, as well as how you cope with problems. These parts of your personality usually develop due to the way you're just biologically wired, or as a product of the environment you grew up around and the experiences you've been through. But you can also choose to develop traits that are beneficial to you and decrease the ones that are not beneficial, so that you are not just a product of your genetics or environment, but that you can actually become your own masterpiece. I'm not going to lie to you ladies, I honestly think this is one of the hardest pillars to master. It's not easy to learn to be confident and self-assured without being arrogant or insufferable, or how to be positive while still also being realistic and keeping calm in situations where you would totally be justified in blowing up or breaking down, and in knowing when to speak up or when it might be a little smarter to stay quiet, lean back, back and observe. It's a lot, but if you invest the time to develop this personality, mentality, mannerism area of your life, it will actually help you master everything else in life. This area is about the inner work you do to build your own unshakable foundation. It's that inner sanctuary where you can find peace no matter what's going on around you. Now, our third pillar is about kindness and interactions. This pillar basically comes down to how you treat people and how people feel after interacting with you. Now, kindness is a trait that gets overlooked often, partially because many people are just busy thinking about themselves, and partially because people are obsessed with not being seen as weak or vulnerable. And in a world full of bullies, sociopaths, and narcissists, I completely understand why, but we can't let that stop us. We just need to apply some balance and nuance in each situation. I know it's really corny, but the smallest act of kindness can really mean so much to someone. It might make you a friend for life or an ally who will come through for you in the future when you need it the most. Being kind also helps you sort people out pretty quickly. There are usually 3 types of people: takers, givers, and matchers. The sooner you know what category people fall into, the sooner you'll know how to deal with them. We'll talk about that some more in the next video on this topic. I just wanted to make the point that being polite or kind or extending the first olive branch does not mean that we have to accept bad behavior, and as long as we can implement proper boundaries when the need arises, kindness will definitely have more pros than cons. In pillar 4, I want to talk about building our intelligence. And in this area, I'm talking IQ, I'm talking EQ, and I'm talking strategy. Intelligence is basically the ability to acquire and apply knowledge and skills. So under this umbrella, I combined having knowledge on subject matter, like the things we learn through school, work, and our hobbies, as well as having knowledge on humans and how they work. I promise you, learning how people think and work is one of the most valuable gifts you can ever give yourself. Once you get the basics down, you can almost predict how people are going to act and therefore move accordingly. I would also include financial literacy and media literacy in this intelligence pillar. Knowing how to make money is obviously important, but knowing how to save, invest, and grow that money and use it to benefit yourself is even more important. And in regards to media literacy, you just really don't want to be that person that believes everything they see on TV or social media. So the more facts you know, the easier it is to be skeptical of sketchy information and sketchy people. When it comes down to strategy, I want us to focus on learning to get what we want with the least amount of friction or conflict, so that we're not making tons of enemies or burning too many bridges in the process, because honestly, you never know when you'll need to cross a bridge again. For pillar 5, I want to talk about building our skills and abilities, whether these are things you share with others or keep to yourself to benefit you personally. This pillar is about covering what you can do. What skills do you have? What do your friends turn to you for? If you're part of a team or a group, what role do you play? Maybe it's what you do professionally, like being able to provide advice on law, medicine, finance, as well as things like tech or event planning if you're good at that. Maybe it's domestic or household related, like cooking. Do you have the best recipes? Budgeting, making those family finances stretch as far as possible. Child raising, if you've raised your own children, those tips can be invaluable to a new mom. Maybe it's something more intangible like advice, or what I like to call girl talk therapy. Or maybe you're great with dating advice. If you have friends who are going from struggle relationships to struggle relationship, maybe they can turn to you for advice on what to look for, what to do differently, and that's also an invaluable addition. Like I said, it's also fine to have things you don't share as well. Maybe you can do your own hair or nails and that saves you some money, but you have no interest in doing that for other people. That's fine too, as long as you contribute something to your little circle or community of people. Whatever skills and abilities you have that others turn to you for, or you can rely on yourself for, those are the things I'm talking about when building this pillar. Now, the sixth and final pillar is all about building mystery. This pillar is about knowing how to strategically share some things and then keeping other things to yourself altogether. In a time of social media and oversharing, a lot of our natural mystery is taken away. So people are even more intrigued these days when they come across it. People love mystery and discovering the unknown. And when people feel like they know all there is to know about a subject, that subject automatically becomes a little less interesting. And aside from keeping you interesting, mystery also allows you to protect yourself. I always say that a lot of what people use to hurt you is information you've given them in some way at some point. I know we've all had moments when we've wished we would have kept certain things to ourselves. I love the mystery pillar because it's so fun and even a little sexy without trying, and every woman can use it. I can't wait to talk about this more. But for now, I hope this gave you a clear idea of these 6 pillars of femininity that will make you the total high value package with beauty, brains, and so much more. I'll be making individual videos on each of these pillars, so let me know in the comments which one of these you struggle with the most or which one you're most looking forward to, so I know what to really go into detail on. Until next time, ladies, stay feminine, stay focused, and have fun.